is pretty close. We're going to get started here in just a few minutes. I would prefer not to speak with a microphone, but I'd be happy if somebody can't hear me. So am I loud enough? Can you hear me? Or would it be better if I got a microphone? Okay, great. Just feel better about that in general. Okay, well, thank you everyone for coming today, and thank you for taking the time to join us. As Hutchinson business owners, as community leaders, you play such an important role of shaping the future of our town. And so one of the ways we're building that future together right now is through our new Hutch and Hutch community app. So this app was designed to connect residents, visitors, and businesses in one easy-to-use platform. It's not just another app, though. It's really a tool to showcase Hutchinson's vibrant business community. We want to highlight events and, most importantly, strengthen the way that we all work together. I think that's something you're going to hear me talk about quite a bit today. You know, there's multiple platforms, there's multiple opportunities, but at the end of the day, we all need to work together to put that narrative out of what an awesome community Hutchinson is. One, to get pride of place back from our residents, for them to be proud to call Hutchinson their home, and two, to start attracting visitors to come here and spend all their money, because that's really what this app is designed to do. So today we'll explore how you can get your business listed, how you can leverage the app to bring in more traffic, and I think most importantly, how this becomes a shared resource we can all benefit from. So why Hutch and Hutch? The vision for this was basically to connect locals and visitors. The Hutch and Hutch app was a collaborative project created to be more than just a directory. It's a bridge. So I see it as a way to connect our community's residents to what's happening around town and gives visitors a one-stop tool to explore Hutchinson. No more hearing, I never heard about that event. You know, what's going on this weekend? I never hear about anything. You know, I think all of us have the same frustrations where we feel like we're putting so much of our money and so much of our time into marketing and trying to get the word out there about our businesses, about our nonprofits, about everything going on, and it's just falling on deaf ears. So hopefully by all of us working together, we can start to just connect people to this resource and connect to each other. So whether that's where to grab dinner, where live music is happening, which local shop has just what you need, it's all now in one place. And the more we use it, the more it becomes our community's go-to hub. So again, I'm going to reiterate that a lot. The more downloads we get, the more people that get engaged with this, the more people that update their listings, it's just going to become more and more valuable to our community, and it's just going to become a bigger and bigger asset. So the chamber's role, we've had a few questions about, you know, what's the chamber's role in all this? As your chamber, our job is to just, I look at it as connecting the dots. We don't just promote businesses one at a time. We bring people, resources, and opportunities together, and Hutch and Hutch app is the perfect example of that. We're convening businesses, organizations, events, and services into a single platform so that our marketing, tourism efforts, and community storytelling all point at the same direction. There's a lot we're doing at the chamber. We're trying to get people to come to Hutchinson, but we need one direction to focus on, and this is what we are choosing to focus on right now because we think it's going to be the most valuable in the long run for everyone. We think Hutchinson's special. We have a thriving arts and culture scene, a historic downtown, strong manufacturers, and a vibrant small business community. People often say, I didn't realize Hutchinson had so much to offer. I mean, how many times do you hear that where people are like, what a charming downtown. There's always so much going on. It's just a wonderful place. I feel like the Hutch and Hutch app makes that far more visible. It tells our story in a modern, accessible way. When I say accessible, not everybody has access to a computer. You know, this is something just about everybody has in their pocket. And while I know not everyone can access this, I feel like it's just a really broad tool to be able to use across the community. So for us as business owners, this isn't just about the app. It's about making sure Hutchinson is seen, supported, and celebrated, not only by our own residents, by every visitor who comes to town. So I hope you don't mind, I'm going to share your story, Fahey's, but basically just being at a local establishment and hearing someone say, hey, you know, what's going on with this loose line? Tell me more about that. And in that moment, that person didn't really know how to respond. And it's not necessarily every business in town's job to educate every one of their staff, but wouldn't it be great if they could just say, you know, I don't know, but here's the resource. Here's this app, download this, it's easy to use, and then all of a sudden everyone becomes, you know, an instant go-to person for information on Hutchinson. So that was another one of the reasons as we're thinking about this, just all the different ways it's really going to impact our community. So I look at it as like a little mini digital storefront. It can include your logo, it can have photos, descriptions, website, social media links, events, and then hours. Because something I consistently hear across the board is, went to this business and they weren't open because the hours were listed wrong on their website. And that is extremely frustrating for visitors who have maybe made a special trip into town. They're not going to come back. That is going to ruin their experience. We're never going to see them again. But through this, the businesses have the power to have right away. You'll tap on there and you'll see the business hours listed. Yes, it's another spot that you have to keep track of those things, but if we're prioritizing this app and making sure all of our businesses are staying up to date on it, that's when it's going to be the most valuable. So I see this as basically a unified resource. It's not just about marketing, it's about showing Hutchinson as a vibrant, connected community. And I think that's really important. I hear from a lot of other chambers and a lot of other communities, Hutchinson's special. You guys are this unique unicorn. You're just so different than all the other communities. You work so well together. And so the more we can communicate and the more that we can, build this bridge between businesses and organizations and events, I think just the better we're going to do. And I'm really excited about this particular platform and how we're going to do that. I think one of our biggest, one of our biggest things is that it's free and it's equal for everyone. So we are one of 3 communities in Minnesota that I am aware of that have an app. We are the only one that is just offering it to everyone. Usually it's kind of a pay-to-play situation where you either have a tiered system or you basically get your business listing. So let's just say it was Arts Place. It'd say Arts Place and it'd have a phone number and that would be it. But for X amount of dollars a month, you can also put your website. Oh, you want a photo? That's going to be more. Oh, you want to do an event listing? That's going to be more. Oh, you want to link to your social media? And then it just starts to increase in price. We're really lucky that this is a community collaboration. We ended up receiving a grant. And so we were able to give this to the community for free. The long-term sustainability of it, it's very expensive. It's really kind of a lot to maintain. We're starting to learn through the chamber. We're learning just right alongside all of you guys. So if you ever see anything that you're like, this doesn't really make sense or this could be better, please come to us. But literally, Paula, Julie, and I are building this thing from the ground up, just spending our time, our resources, our energy. Our hope is someday to monetize it in terms of push notification, banner ads. And this isn't just for businesses. I could see this community-wide just being an asset for everyone. So taking a breath. I talk really fast. So if I'm talking too fast, let me know. Really, this is our way of making sure Hutchinson shines as a whole and just not piece by piece. So today is really about, if you haven't downloaded it, don't feel bad. I had a few people walk in and they're like, I have not done nothing. I've done none of my homework. I am not ready for this at all. That's not what this is about. This is one. So each one of you are going to leave today, and I hope go spread the word about how amazing this is. Encourage other people. Say, hey, it's not scary. It's not hard. It's really easy to use. And more importantly, you'll see it as a value and hopefully just promote it within the community. So I just kind of want to walk through some of the categories, especially if you haven't had the opportunity to download it yet. So we designed our app to be 5 different categories. There's a million different ways we could have done this, and I kind of wanted to just talk through our logic and rationale for how we did it. Number 1, we did events. So I think for me personally, getting into this chamber role, I realized Hutchinson has so many cool events. What we're not doing is capitalizing on getting people to stay another day. They come here, they come to our events, and then they leave. I want them to stay 1 more day, maybe 2 more days. Let's say 72 hours. Come downtown, spend your money. We know they're going to go on the south side of town. They're going to fill up their gas tanks. They're going to stop at our Walmart, which we get so many compliments about, which is just funny through the chamber. It's the nicest Walmart I've ever been to, which is great. We don't promote that, though. We promote our narrative. And part of our narrative, I think if anyone thinks of Hutchinson, what do you think of? Charming downtown, beautiful river. By extension, people will go to all the other businesses. So by highlighting these events, we chose 12 over the summer that we just spent a lot of time building relationships with. And our criteria was an event that brings in over 1,500 people, that has the opportunity for people to just stay another day and make a weekend out of this experience. So this event calendar is actually linked to our community calendar. So for those of you chamber members that have used our community calendar in the past, essentially you go on and it's open to everyone. You enter in your event, you put in all the different information, that comes to us, and that now goes into the app. Something some people know as well. Oh, yeah. Hold on, I can do that. I forgot I plugged in. Thanks, Paula. So events. So you'll come into here. Submit an event, submit your photo, share the app. There's all these different options. So you would click on submit an event. Right there, you're on the Hutchinson Chamber website. Scroll down. Put in all the required information. Lots and lots of information. Submit for approval. So once that is done, that will then communicate with our website through your portal as well. And it will give us all of that information, which will then be dropped into the app. So I'll show you where that will show up. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Right there. So today, I'm like, what's going on in Hutchinson right now? I can register for Crow River Youth Choir. Oh, look, the Much and Hutch app training, Lunch and Learn, that's happening at Arts Place. And then we can even go so far as to click, and then all of the information is in there as well. So the more information that you submit into the community calendar, the more information we're going to be able to put in here. I mean, even down to visiting the site, it'll bring you back to whatever website or resource that you want to use. So make sure that you're linking all those things together correctly. You can add that as a favorite, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But then once you start favoriting these items, these stores, these events, you're going to be able to get notifications from these events and businesses about their listings. So I'm going to pop back really quick and go, my favorites. You can favorite your favorite events. Even other things, we're trying to do like school calendars. So this is just to make it more of a resource, because I think as business owners, all right, I want to plan an event. Okay, wait, when are the football games? We can't put it on that Friday night. When is this happening? When is that? So we're starting to sync up the different community schools and just those different things. So it's just a click away. So people have these resources really accessible and really easy to use. This is all just based off of what we think is a good idea. So we would love to hear what you think is a good idea to include into these areas. So I'm going to go back. Next up, we have eat and drink. So we're saying from restaurants to food trucks to coffee shops, breweries, wineries. This section makes it easy for locals and visitors to find their next favorite spot. So one thing I want to touch on, the way this app worked was AI scraped the internet, took all the details of everything that you guys have put out there. So the more content you have out there, the more website, the more social media, everything. That was all gathered up and kind of dumped into this app. So we've been slowly filtering through. There's a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of categories that are not correct or maybe not well represented. We're going through and slowly trying to change this, but we really need the businesses and the events and organizations to do this on their own, because you know your business better than any of us do. But if you're not seeing your business at all, number one, I would say search. So you hit that little, whatever it is, magnifying glass up in the corner, and then you could search right here. So if I'm looking for, let's look up, we're gonna pick on you, Dan. Bobber. Search. Oh, well, there you are right there. Click on that. And then you popped right up. So those images, as I'm swiping through, these were just pulled from the internet. You can change them. We have all those awesome photos that we just did from the photo shoot. You could upload those. Somebody could add you to a favorite. If you hit the call button, it calls you directly. One of my favorite things for all the people that are lost and when they call the chamber, you're like, go on your app, click on how to get there, and then you can do walking. And I mean, it just connects you right away instead of having to go onto a website and get it into your Google Maps and then, oh crap, I got to download this app and do all these other things. It's just really seamless. And as you can see, your address was already imported into there, but you can include your hours. You can include Oktoberfest this weekend. I mean, the potential, there's tons of potential, tons of things that you can do. So I will continue to kind of go through all those different areas. Right now we have it categorized. So when we're looking at eat and drink, we have drinks, sit down, fast food, food trucks, desserts, gluten-free, and catering. These are the areas where I really want everyone to start diving in. Businesses are broad and you can't just bucket them into one category. They fit into multiple. And for us to be able to do that, you have to tell us which categories you want to be listed under. So that's one of the areas where we have the administrative rights to that. And unfortunately, you're not able to do that. So you need to communicate with us if you just want your business listed differently. Paula will actually help you with that. So that's something you could set up an appointment at the chamber, call into Paula. She'll walk you through exactly how to do all of that. You can even send us an email. This is my business. These are the categories that I noticed I think I fit into. The reason that we have the list my business is so we're not getting an internet company out of LA trying to say that they're a Hutchinson business and they want to be listed. So it's our way to filter through what should actually be on the app, which creates a little bit of an obstacle. And I'm sorry, it's one more way you have to go through us, but in the long run, it'll just keep everything accurate, reliable, and valuable to the people using this app. So then we've got shop, which a lot of people, it's kind of eat and drink and shop, depending on what you're looking at there. We have so many different retail and specialty stores. I think this one really spotlights our unique local businesses, and it's just going to help us in the long term keep the dollars in our community. So we have it categorized in all of these different ways, but again, you would go under the list my business because you're not seeing your business. And then there's this form. So just fill out this form if something's not listed. You're giving us your name of your business, your type, the person that we're going to be working with moving forward, email address so we can get a hold of you that way, and phone number. Are you already listed somewhere, and do you want your business to be listed in any other spaces on the app? So once you hit submit on this, Paula will get this in, it's pretty quick. I mean, we've tested it a few times within usually about 15 minutes. So that'll pop into her email. Keep in mind, She does about a million other things too. So this might not be her, first thing that she gets to, but she'll see that listing. She'll be able to populate it, and then she'll be able to send you a link. So once you get this link, that's your admin access to your listing, and you will be able to go in. Right now, it's only through your computer, but now we had heard this month they were going to make it mobile friendly so that you could make these changes on your phone. It's a little finicky right now. They haven't quite worked out all those kinks. So sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Consistently, it will work on your laptop. And for a lot of us, it's just a better platform to be able to navigate in. You can see a little bit better. It gets pretty small. I don't know. I feel like I'm doing that all the time and trying to see things a little bit better. So shopping, we've got all these different areas, furniture and mattresses. I mean, it's just really fun to play around in there. So just see where you fit. The more spots you are, the better. People are going to find you easier and be more relevant. So continue to go through all the different categories and just write those down. If anything, I'll give you homework today. Write down all the categories you want your listings to be listed in. Yes. Yes. Thank you. I had an example of, and I know she won't mind, Olita, for example, was just listed under fast food. She's like, I don't want to be associated with fast food. Can you move me over to drinks? So if you see something that doesn't, it's not that we did it. Honestly, the internet just scraped. AI said that's what you are, and that's where it put you. So we can fix all of that, and we can teach you how to do it as well. But again, Paula's your go-to resource. She's going to be here. So you can email her at info. We'll give you guys all this information on how to contact everyone. You can call, you can stop in the office, you can set an appointment, whatever's easy. We're willing to meet you on whatever level you need and just help you navigate through all of this. So then we're going to get a little further down into the app. So events, eat and drink and shop, I just want to say right now, are our top priorities. Our first priority was getting people to download the app, just to brag a little bit about how awesome our community. Typical download rates are somewhere around 2% of the community within the first month. And within the first 3 weeks, we had 4%. So we're already doing amazing. It's over 600 people have downloaded it, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it really is. I mean, that's really good numbers, and that's just the first month. We're just going to continue to build on the momentum. All of you are going to go out and tell all of your friends. Maybe each of you could get 10 people to download it and just encourage them to use it. So the more we can get this out there, the better. But right now we're focusing on the events, the eat and drink, and the shop. I want all of those listings accurate. I want everything up to date. I want it to be the best representation, because then the next phase is really getting this out there in our marketing efforts to broader Minnesota. I don't want to do that until this is very accurate, though. I don't want people coming into town and it's not listed well or the business hours are wrong. So we really need to just take a couple of months, I think, as a community and just get this thing going. So we're going to offer many more opportunities like this. We have another Lunch and Learn coming up in November on the 5th. It'll be very similar to this, so tell your friends. We already had to book a bigger venue because we couldn't fit everybody over at the chamber. And then, just use the chamber as a resource. Just come to us, ask us whatever you need. You already have my Wi-Fi password. Sorry about that. So now as we go down, I kind of want to talk. Yes, if you need it. So, okay. So now that you have seen what the app can do, we're going to get a little bit more hands-on. I kind of already went through all that. Sorry, I have a script, but I don't ever follow them anyway. Okay, so has everyone downloaded it at this point? Does anybody need help with that phase? Good? Okay, you don't have to admit it if you haven't. So we went through the list my business, and again, Paula reiterated, check all the categories. Again, it was an AI scrape. So what's on there is just basically pulled off the internet. We went through the fill out the form section. So again, don't worry if you don't have everything today. I didn't want you to walk away today feeling like, oh, my listing's all complete. I was supposed to get this done today. Start with what you have, and we can always update it later. I really want you to spend some time, though, like I said, exploring the different categories and seeing where you fit in. And if you see any categories that you're like, why isn't this even listed? We added all these. We can add more. So if there's something we're not thinking of in terms of categories that you think would be helpful to either residents or visitors, just let us know. We are really open to feedback, and we really just need your help to make this the best that it can be. Again, ask for help. So like I had said, you weren't able to update it from your iPhone before, but they're really evolving this platform. So we have those abilities now. I'm sorry if you covered this already. No.
So
you can take a
when
drink.
I search
Uh-huh.
for Woodstone, it's in there.
Okay.
Do I still go in and submit my own, and then will there be duplicates?
So you're already in there. So then you're already in. Oh, and it looks like we have, so you asked this question earlier. So you have the 3 different listings, and you would ask, so you only need 2, so we can get rid of one of those. Then Paula will give you, it's a link to be able to access administratively each of your listings. And then if you, awesome. Okay. So then we go down into play and stay. So this is one of the areas that is going to take us just a little bit more time to develop. So when you look at play and stay, right now we have bare bones minimum of what is actually offered in this platform. Right now, the Chamber has been working on developing itineraries. And so we want to make it easy for people to just come to Hutchinson, pop into play and stay and say, I'm a family, click on this itinerary and it will have businesses listed, how to spend a day here, whether it's a couples weekend, whether you want to do wineries and breweries, whatever you want to do. That's something that we're all working on. So again, if you have an idea, bring it to us. We're more than happy to explore that. We're kind of turning ourselves into influencers. Julie actually has, for those of you familiar with the one tank trip coming into town. And so basically their platform is anywhere 1 tank of gas from the Twin Cities. Let's see what you can do and just go spend your money in that community. So they're coming in a week here and they're going to be hitting around downtown. We're going to have that all over on social media. It's on Twin Cities CW. So those are just a few of the things that we're doing to promote, to get people to come to Hutchinson. When you look at this Play and Stay app, again, it links to the community calendar, which is just going to be a useful resource. We have lodging, and we've gone so far as to add in hotels and motels, RV and campgrounds, and I mean, but it needs to be expanded, and we just need more of this information to be added. We've started getting into the vacation rental homes because that was something AI didn't find at all. So we're slowly starting to add those in. So the more of those that we can get, the apartments on main streets, the VRBOs, the Airbnbs, we would love to have all of those listed. But I think importantly, having all the hotels represented and just making sure all of that information is correct. So we can also do, I think I talked about itineraries. I'm trying to remember what else I wanted to touch on. There's a lot more things coming, so I don't want to tell you too much yet, but right now we're focusing on a Winter Wonderland campaign during the holidays. So we're really going to showcase Hutchinson as a place to come in what I call essentially the shoulder season. So coming up now, it's busy. Like we all have Christmas business. This is just the bump in time where everybody makes all their money, everybody's out spending. But then what happens in January, February, March when no one's coming into town anymore? That's where I really want to start pushing things, different itineraries, escapes, even staycations, reminding people sometimes at the end of the day, we did that really fun. We went to the brewery, we did Jomas, and we did the winery. And everyone that was in that commercial was like, I forgot how fun it is to pop around to all 3 of these. I mean, when's the last time you jumped in a vehicle and just played tourist in your own town? I mean, we really want to encourage that and just have a lot of fun with it. Date nights, family activities. I think I talked about all of those things. So these aren't just going to be like a static listing. I really see it as like a curated experience that's going to encourage people to explore more, stay longer, and then hopefully spend locally. As we look through here, we're starting to just add other buttons based off recommendations. So everything from our Hutchinson mural stroll, which we're updating right now. So as you can see here, you can click on each one of these and it just shows the different murals. You can take your own photo of it. Right now, we've also been gathering photos. I mean, one of the things we get asked for consistently is beautiful images of Hutchinson, and there's not really a database of all of that. So the Chamber's been working really hard to work with local photographers. We hired probably 5 different photographers to take pictures of businesses and events and just everything going on in Hutchinson over the summer to start to curate our own library of resources. And our goal is to update all of these because again, this was just pulled from the internet. It's kind of blurry, not the best representation of that. But this becomes interactive. So there are possibilities in here where you would go on the sculpture stroll or the mural stroll. You could take a picture, submit everything, and then be entered for a drawing, which the Chamber fully plans on doing. So engaging people to take this tour or go on that stroll or do this scavenger hunt. There's so many opportunities for that we're looking forward to doing. We just first need to get this all on the same page and good to go, and then we'll be going there. Even things like bike trails and maps. I mean, I think this is just cool. This just came right off the internet. So we've got, right there, you're linked right to it. You can just zoom right in and figure out where you are if you're lost on your bike, to the Loose Line Trail, just seeing where it comes from and where it goes. And then just all the different parks that have bike trails through them. So again, you can submit an event on this page. You can share an app with your friends. There's just a lot of potential, and we'll slowly be unrolling all of that, I would say, over the next year. So the last space, and I think very importantly for the residents, so live and work. Now at our fingertips, we have everything. And I think by everything, I mean, where do you go to get a job? I had a really interesting roundtable conversation with quite a few of the HR directors for manufacturing in town, and they don't know where to send people. When you want to get a job, you go on Indeed, you can go on Facebook. I mean, there's so many different avenues, and it's like, where do you post? Where do you do this? This is now a resource that everyone would be able to use. And the HR, I mean, they were thrilled. They couldn't wait to download this app and share it with their workers, because the other piece of that is when we're trying to attract people to come and live in this community, I can speak from experience. It's not easy. It's not easy to find an apartment. It's not easy to find a job. It's not easy to just get into the community. My mom and my brother and my sister-in-law moved here, and my brother couldn't get an apartment because he didn't have work employment history in the state. I mean, he worked for the same place for 15 years in Pennsylvania, but they're like, nope, you don't have any work history here, so we're not actually going to give you a lease to an apartment. And, just some of those obstacles and those barriers make it really hard for people to stay here. So maybe they'll get a job, they'll last a couple of months, and then they're off and on their way and not staying in the community. But with something like this and being able to develop something like this, we can have everything from housing, where they look on here and look for an apartment, retirement communities, figuring out a realtor, property managers. I mean, we can just start to build on this. The job search is one of the areas that goes directly to the chamber website. So right now that is a perk for chamber members. Hardly anything on this app costs anything, but there are a few things that are just associated with your chamber membership because there's no other platform in town. So if anybody has a better idea on how to do a job search, we'd be happy to explore that. But right now we feel like our website is the best resource to utilize that and figure it out. And so right now that's only a perk for chamber members. But we see this going for volunteering. I would love to see a button that just categorizes all the different volunteer opportunities where people could just go with a click and figure out where they're needed, whether it's an hour. We were just talking about this, whether we're going to go pack backpacks for an hour or you're going to join a board that, you have to stay on until you die. You get to kind of decide in between there what's going to work for you. But also we just wanted resources listed, just the city of Hutchinson is on here. We have the schools, we have private schools, the utilities. You move to town, and if somebody were to use this as a resource, how do I get internet? How do I get my power hooked up? Who do I call for, X, Y, or Z? We just want all of this to eventually be in here. And this is an area that has barely been developed. I mean, this is really what we've scraped off the internet and kind of categorized, but I really think that for our community, this has the most potential. So I'm really excited to see where this is going to go. To be honest, it's not our focus right now. We're focusing on the events, the eat and drink, the shop, and then the play and stay. So that'll be kind of the last piece. But as you're thinking about it, as you're navigating it, as you're hearing from community members, again, let us know, because we don't know what we don't know until you tell us. So we just really want to take that information and put it part of our strategic plan to be able to plan this out in the future. So I think some of the marketing opportunities for businesses that we want to make people aware of, we're not ready for it yet. We have a lot of work to do before we can get there, but there's banner ads on this, so businesses can just increase their visibility. There's going to be opportunities for push notifications, so you could highlight your specials, your events, promotions like directly on the user's phone. I look at like the arts and crafts, and we had some really serious weather move in, and trying to notify everyone in the park to either take cover or not, because it's Hutchinson, it ended up doing that thing, or it just went around all of us. But we were walking around and verbally telling everybody. It would have been amazing to be able to go onto that phone, be like, severe weather coming, 20 minutes, just alert everybody at once. There's just lots and lots of applications that are just going to be really helpful, I think, down the road. But also, come spend your money, come to our thing this weekend, come just remind people, because so many people just don't plan ahead. They kind of wait to the last minute to decide what they're going to do for an event and if they're going to go to something. And sometimes it's just nice to be reminded in one more way. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to touch on basically these marketing opportunities are just going to ensure that the app remains strong and continues to expand. Because again, it is free for the community, but the sustainability of this, we're really going to need to figure out ways to monetize it to keep it going. So that's where we're going to lean into the businesses for the advertisements and those sorts of things. But in the meantime, just as I had said before, this is free for everybody and it's awesome. And the more that you guys use it and the more you can spread the word and get people excited about this, I think the better it's going to be. And again, here at the Chamber, Paula, Julie, myself, we're here to just help. We're not experts. We just got it like a month and a half ago. So we're learning as we go. But yeah, we're just really excited about it. And that kind of concludes, unless you have anything else to offer.
One thing I just want to add with the community calendar that you're putting your events on, the marquee, which is going to be a new one eventually here soon. We pull from that for the marquee. So any community events that are going to attract tourists, it is that's taking place in Hutchinson. That's where we pull from to get that on a marquee. And there's a limit of how many we're having there in a certain amount of time. We get those in as soon as possible because we pull them in every couple of weeks, and then they're launched and updated as you guys drive by down Highway 7 and 8th Street. That's where we pull from.
And we've modified the criteria for that as well. So in the past, it was non-recurring, nonprofit events. If you have an event that's going to bring people into town and we can snag them off the highway, send it in. We'll figure it out. I mean, really, at the end of the day, we want to use that marquee, the amount of traffic that is going each of those ways and the amount of people that are just flying by on 7 and they're never coming downtown, they're never going anywhere else. We need to capture them then. So if you have any kind of event, and this is business or nonprofit, if you think you have something that is going to draw tourists in, we want to put it up there and we want to advertise for it. As you've seen, it's very limited on what we can do right now, but we are getting a new one, which is really exciting. So hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have that installed and we'll just have way more capabilities in terms of that.
Yeah.
So
the analytics that have been figured out from that marquee being there per year, it's about 3 million impressions. So
it's huge.
That's huge.
Yep.
It's free for you guys.
So on the event page, you click on it and you go to the chamber page. We then also have to submit stuff to the chamber.
It always was that chamber.
Okay.
And that's so it has to go to one place and then that goes back to us.
But it'll let them on hold.
Yeah. So it's awesome. If you want to use the app to get to the chamber page,
Okay.
and use the app and you're just going on your computer, just the website and you get that way, you can do that way.
Okay.
So it goes right down to the chamber. That goes onto the app.
And we have a link for it. And if you add your website or your Facebook, have to be a Facebook member to get to that Facebook page and get information off of that.
Yes. Because if I'm exactly. So I am a member of Facebook, but I feel like if you're not, what typically happens is you click on it and then they try to get you to sign up. So yeah, there's no way to access Facebook without being a member. But the website, they'd be able to go on there. You could have your hours, your information. But yeah, as far as the social media platforms, I look at this as, like I said earlier, kind of a bridge and slash tool. It just gets you to exactly where you need to go, just a lot faster and more efficiently than if you were to just, I don't know, people call the chamber and we're Googling things for them and trying to figure it out. Just our hope is that more people just get used to this and be able to navigate it because it really is very user-friendly. We looked at a lot of different platforms and this one was by far the simplest to use. So yes, they would have to do that, which is not everybody's thing. I know they're like, I don't want to be on Facebook, but you could put a lot of information in there. Yep.
How far in advance can you put stuff on? So, like, just say the Orange Spectacular that happens
Now. Do it now.
Could you put the next couple years?
Yep. Absolutely.
And I haven't gone through that yet, but so I do a lot of going. We're going to travel. I go to the chamber sites.
Yes.
What's going on in that town? And I can put, and maybe you can do this if you're put 4th weekend in July. You can put those dates in. Is there a spot that'll bring somebody to everything going on in town that's on there for that date?
So, yep. So through the app, yes. And I'll just kind of show you that again. Gosh darn it. I'm learning. Sorry.
We're never going to hit everybody. This is the 35th year that Orange Spectacular. We've had people that didn't know we were doing it in town. And actually, last year I had one person said, "How long was it at fairgrounds?" Really? And this was somebody that's lived in Hutch for many, many years.
So right now, the way we have it set up, it goes day by day. There's an opportunity for us to do month by month, which we had set up before, but unfortunately, it's a lot more complicated. And so we've turned off that feature for now. To be honest, we've turned off probably half of the features that we have just because we need to work out a lot more kinks before we can get there. But ultimately, we were just talking about it this morning. When you would go on to those events, it would have each of the different months. And then, September would be highlighted. And then it would have a lot of the main attractions. So before it had, I'm trying to remember what was even on there, the Arts and Crafts Festival, the Ice Castle Summer Extravaganza, some of those bigger events that then take you in and have a lot of information. If it's a church rummage sale, they don't need all that. They don't need the social media links. They don't need all those other pieces. But this is something we want to really develop, and we just need to be really intentional with it and make it really clean. So like you said, when people are coming into town, it's not just scattered and not making any sense and not cohesive. So ultimately, yes. But in the meantime, add everything. Just the more things we add to this, the better.
There's two different ways that you can look at it. This is just listed by the date, so you can pick it out that way. But if you go back to this community, the monthly one, it goes back out to our website, which then does have it all listed. So then you can scroll through by month and quickly get to like the next month, or I want to go out to December and just check on December. Then you can use that and go to November now quick, or nope, I want to go to the next month to December. And then on the phone, it looks, on the phone, it just has these little squares because that's all it can fit. But if you go onto the computer, then it has like the 12th, and then it has a bunch of it, as much as it can fit on there on the 12th.
So if somebody was just coming into town for a certain date, and they could put it in and it would say, yes.
Yeah, if you're planning, like I know in November I want to go into Hutch, they have to go on, you just go up here and then check into November and click on the date that you're coming, and then it'll have everything listed. Yeah. So yeah, two different views. The month view will bring you back out to the Chamber's website, but that's one local spot where we're all updating our stuff. But you can easily get to it on the app, and then also the listed view, which is just here's today, there's tomorrow's, there's the next day's.
Can you go to that calendar and click on one of those dates in the merge box?
So tomorrow the 2nd. And then it has all the listings. And then it looks different on the computer, obviously, than it does on the phone.
And you could submit images. So another perk to being a chamber member, you can submit a lot more images. The general community calendar is open to everyone, so any organization, you do not need to be a chamber member to submit an event. But as you can see, it just makes you more dynamic. When you go back to that one, you saw Nuvera's Lunch and Learn. It just catches the eye a lot better to be able to have those images, and we can give you more information about the ratios of all of that. That's coming soon. Same for the app. When you look up at the top here, this was a picture from last year, Michael Shines at River Song. It's a specific dimension. I mean, it's really flat and long. So these are challenging pictures to actually find. We had to send photographers out. Yep, it's not going to maybe fit, but we can guide you through on just different ways to make it really pop out and make it really look great. We do a lot in Canva, which is really helpful. So
one thing I want to say was a question that was asked earlier. So there's a square logo. So obviously, there's more of a rectangle thinner banner that's up at the top there. So a suggestion is dropping it into Canva, just making it centered and blacking out, or making it the same, background. If it's a white background, making it white, so then it just lives right there in the middle. Just kind of like the top of ours is just our little logo up there right in the middle, because it happens to be a round one. So just play around with it.
any other questions? No? Good. So we have a few resources for you. Oh gosh, I thought it was my phone. I was like, no. Okay. So first off, we got these really cool stickers made, and they cost us a fortune. So if you have spots to put them, please take them. Anywhere visible where you could direct people, whether this is a door, it's by your register, wherever, please feel free to take as many as you need, but let's not take any more than we need because, yeah, like I said, small fortune we invested in these. So yes, have these around. This QR code will take you to either Android or Apple. So it works for both. We've tested it a million times. They will click on it, download, done. No paying, no process. I mean, it just pops right onto there. They don't need to log in. It makes it very simple. Yes, we do. So then we also printed these. So feel free to hang these in your businesses anywhere that you think would be helpful within the community. Again, same kind of thing. We also have, you might have saw them when you came in, yard signs. So anyone here that has a really visible private property that you get a lot of traffic and you wouldn't mind taking one of those and putting them out, we have a few of those available today as well. The other piece that we have right here is just, again, a reiteration of basically everything we talked about here today. We have another upcoming Lunch and Learn. You are all welcome to come and participate in that one as well. It's going to be very similar to this, but we're just going to continue to build. I think the most important part is just being able to have all of this information, because we really are going to lean into you guys to talk to other people about this and start spreading the word. I mean, word of mouth is going to be the best way to get this information out there. But yes, we will have digital assets, and we will be starting to put together those things.
You can actually pick it up now. I just shared it on Instagram.
Okay.
So if you go into
Yep.
into your where you edit, if you scroll all the way to the bottom when you're sharing in.
Share app.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
But you can also like there's a URL link too.
Okay.
I shared it on Instagram.
So did you share your posting?
I just shared it on my.
Got it.
With the QR code.
Awesome.
Put it in the comments.
Clickable link.
Which brought me to open up the App Store that brings you.
Awesome.
Right, so you can also say just go to your App Store and type in Hutch and Hutch. That's the title of the app, so you can go to any app store. Also too, on our website, there is the same thing, and there's a link to Android and iPhones. You can also just share that too as a business if you want. So blind CC all your businesses with it and just say, hey, this is what's going on in Hutch now. Download it on your free time. Yeah, just send it out to all your employees and coworkers and friends.
So we're going to give everybody one of these. Anybody that wants, I'm just going to throw it on the ground. Here, Paula. One of those, and then the stickers. Any more questions in the meantime? Otherwise, if you want to stay and just kind of visit or have any questions for us and need a little bit more one-on-one help, feel free. Paula, myself.
I'm gonna just explain a little bit, when you click on that form to list my business, how that process goes. So, you fill out that form, it's gonna send an email to me saying that you're interested in listing your business. It might already listed, but you wanna make a change. Basically, we're saying, do you want access to your business or your organization, whatever, you want access to that. So I'm getting that, I'm gonna go and make it, get a link for that listing. And then I'm gonna send you a new email. I'm going to send you a new email that says, hey, thanks for filling out this form. Here's your URL. That URL is your access into that business. So you don't have a username to remember. You don't have a password to remember. As long as you have that URL, save that email somewhere, or that URL that you know a month from now, I want to change my business hours because now we're not open in the winter, these hours. That's where you go and continue to get the access. If you want somebody else to do it for your business, then you send it to them and they can get that. So it's not a code, it's a URL link that then will send you to update anything on your page that you can. And that's basically about it. Like she said, if you want to change the categories that you're in, that I have to do on the back end. So that just requires an email to info@explorehutchinson.com, and then I'll go and click that on the back end and then let you know, hey, I got it done. Let me know if you like it or not, and then we can readjust. Yeah, Joe?
On the top left corner, there's the 3 bars. If you click on that, it says login. That's not necessary.
That is, so what, you can log in and create your own password. And so when you play around with the app, you can start selecting favorites. Like, this business is one of my favorites. This is mine. I really like this calendar link. So it puts it in different places for you personally when you're using the link as an individual. But that is not for you to get into your business stuff. That you have to go through my URL link that I'll send you. So that's a great question.
That's an awesome question,
Yeah.
because that segues into some of the features that we're not using right now. In terms of when you like a business, then that business can send you notifications because you want to hear that information. So Dan's got something going on at the brewery. You've already liked his business, which I saw you have 3 likes already. You have the highest one so far. For people not knowing how to use it. Then anytime you want to put out information like, hey, Oktoberfest this weekend, you know, everybody on the app, show me that you downloaded the app and I'll give you $1 off your beer. I mean, there's so many opportunities for us to just start to engage with the community and really start to track and see how much people are using this, which is really exciting. But
that's gonna be the next step, and we'll kind of let you all know when that.
We're not ready yet.
Yeah.
So with that next step, my favorites there.
Yep, absolutely. And we have everything from, Yes. So
The user can use that.
Yeah, as just a user.
that would be your favorites there.
Like,
So I'm sorry.
I didn't know that it moves it to the top of the page or anything, but if you have it put as a favorite, if they have push
Let's see.
notifications or different things, then it comes.
Okay, so I just liked bobbing botter. I'll click on you.
Keep adding to it, thank you.
Yep, there we go. 4.
Awesome.
You're the winner.
I like being a winner.
Are you filming this?
Yes, we film every one of these. So if you want to go back in our archives and watch all of our awesome lunch and learns, you can see those online. Are you gonna be done?